Jai Hind students, welcome to physics class of grade 11. Today we will discuss physical world and its measurement. Now, before moving further, in physics, if I'm talking about grade 9 and 10, we talked about a number of physical quantities just like mass, length, time, temperature, focal length, wavelength, frequency, acceleration, momentum, etc. What is the special in them which differentiate it from the some other which we are measuring in our day-to-day life? For example, you give the test of science, you are given the marks, then why its evaluation is not a physical quantity? But if I say mass, it's a physical quantity, but evaluation is not a physical quantity. You participate in a number of competitions and you are also given marks, and judges, they also assign marks to your performances. Still their judgment is not a physical quantity. Why something which we think that they could be measured, but why they cannot be regarded as the physical quantities? So I will discuss these terms with you. Now first of all, let me tell you about the physical quantities. Physical quantities are the building blocks of physics in terms of which laws of physics are described and whose measurement is necessary are called physical quantities. So let me repeat this definition once again. The building blocks of physics in terms of which laws of physics are described and whose measurement is necessary are called the physical quantities. For example, mass, length, time, momentum, velocity, speed, acceleration, plus many more. Now if I say that this is an object and if I say its mass is 10 kilogram, let me say that there are 4 judges, J1, J2, J3 and J4. All have measured its mass. They said, everybody said its mass is 10 kilogram. So this is about the mass. Now after that, we talk about a performance on the stage, and again 4 judges are there. That performance is of dance. Now first judge gave the number 45 out of 50. Second judge gave 40 out of 50. Third judge given 42 out of 50. And the fourth judge, he gave 44 marks. You clearly see that the result of performance is not a physical quantity because everybody is having different opinion and you cannot challenge. If I say that I like the songs of Lata Mangeshkar, somebody may say that I don't like the songs of Lata Mangeshkar. I can't challenge. So that is not a physical quantity. So physical quantity, in physical quantity, the result will be unique. All of us will accept that it's true. So so it means that this is the physical quantity. Its result should be unique. Now question is, physical quantity is good. Why there is a need of measurement? Without measurement, what could happen? For example, if your mother says go and bring some onions, how much? It's an ambiguous word. It can have many meanings. She may, for the shopkeeper, it may be 2 kilogram. For you, it may be 1 kilogram. So measurement is necessary. If I ask go and bring milk, how much milk? If I have to make a cup of tea for 5-6 people, then 300 to 400 milliliter is sufficient. But if there is some big party, I may require a milk of 10 liter. So measurement is very necessary. And one more example that we see in our day-to-day life, when you go to tailor shop, for what you go? You go for the measurement. If measurement is not done properly, you know what could happen to your dress. Am I right? And there was a very great physicist, Lord Kelvin, who has SI unit of temperature is named after him, Lord Kelvin. He was one of the greatest scientists. So what he says about measurement, when you can measure what you are speaking about and express it in terms of number, you know something about it. But when you can't express it in number, your knowledge is meager and unsatisfactory kind. You know what this line means, what this statement means? It is very, very important statement. For example, I am delivering the lecture to you. You should be able to answer how much you have grasped. You should express it in number. Say 70%, 80%, 90%, 100%, 40%, 50%. So what does this mean? This means that measurement is very, very important for us. Now question is, for measurement, unit is must. Without unit we cannot measure. If I say go and bring 10 oranges, if oranges are small, then my requirement will not be fulfilled. If oranges are too big, in that case, that extra would be wastage. So for this, we must specify the units. If I say go and bring 1 packet of salt, and packet of salt, they are available in various packings. It can be half kg also. In some shops, even 100 gram of is also available. And if you took at the big packet, it may be of the, I think, 20 kilogram, 30 kilogram. Same is the case of wheat flour. If I ask wheat flour is needed, then how much is needed? I should specify. If I say 1 packet, what is 1 packet? It could be 1 kilogram, it could be 5 kilogram, it could be 10 kilogram. And for the parties, they are having separate packing. It could be of 40 kilogram, 50 kilogram. So unit has to be specified. If I say go and bring 5 kilogram of wheat flour, it's good. Now all of us can understand how much wheat flour is needed. So a unit is must. So what is the meaning of the unit? Unit means the standard measure of a physical quantity is called unit. So what the unit is? The standard measure of a physical quantity is called unit. If I say U represent unit and N represents its numerical value, right? Let us say I have purchased 4 meter of the cloth. Then what can I say? I can also say it is 400 centimeter. It could be 4000 millimeter also. So what does it mean? If Q is a physical quantity, I can express it NU. What is N? N is the unit, N is the numerical value, U is the unit. So I can say that physical quantity can be equal to N1 U1, N2 U2, N3 U3 and so on. It will depend on the unit. If size of unit increases, numerical value decreases. If I say 4 meter is needed, if I take a smaller unit, centimeter, then numerical value, it will increase. If I take a further small unit, numerical value will become 4000. If I say no, I will say kilometer, then can you tell me what is its numerical value? It will be 0.004. Right? So here size of unit has increased, so numerical value has decreased. Right? And what is how we measure a physical quantity? We measure a physical quantity by comparison of its value with the unit. For example, I require 4 meter cloth from a roll of cloth. How the shopkeeper will give the 4 meter cloth? He takes a meter rod and he gives the cloth whose length is 4 times than that rod. So I am comparing the length of cloth with the length of rod. So I am able to measure that 4 meter of the cloth. So this is how the measurement is done. Next is types of physical quantities. Listen, there are 2 types of physical quantities. One is fundamental quantities, another one is derived quantities. Second is derived quantities. So what are the fundamental quantities? Fundamental quantities are those quantities which are independent of one another and which cannot be derived from one another. Fundamental quantities which are independent of one another. For example, if I say mass, length, time, what these? These are the fundamental quantities. They are not depending on one another. Right? There is no correlation between them. Whereas derived quantities are those quantities which are obtained by dividing or multiplying the fundamental quantity. For example, if you have done the speed, what is the formula of speed? You say distance upon time. But what the distance is? It is a length. And time, I know that it is a fundamental quantity, so this speed is depending on the fundamental quantity. Even if I say density, what is the density? Mass upon volume. Mass itself is a fundamental quantity. Volume, it is the product of length, breadth, height, simplest formula. And breadth is also a length, height is also a length, because all could be measured by measuring tape. So I can say mass upon length cube. Again, it is depending on the fundamental quantities. So it's clear that fundamental quantities, they do not depend on any other quantities. The derived quantities, they are dependent on the fundamental quantities. Next is types of units. Just like we are having the quantities are of two types. In the same way, we are having the units. They are also of the two types of units. One is fundamental units. Another one is derived units. What are the fundamental units? Fundamental units are the units of those quantities in terms of which units of all other quantities are expressed. I am repeating the definition once again. Fundamental units are the units of those quantities in terms of which units of all other physical quantities are expressed. For example, if I say unit of length is meter, unit of mass is kilogram, and units of time is second, so I will say meter, kilogram, second are the fundamental units. What about the derived units? If I say area, think of a formula of area: length, breadth. Length is also measured in meter, breadth is also measured in meter, so meter square. Volume, length, breadth, height, so all are measured in meter, so answer is meter cube. So this volume is depending on this fundamental units. So derived units are those units which are derived from the fundamental units by either multiplication of fundamental units or division of fundamental units or both. Now, what should be the characteristics of the unit? If you are taking a unit, what should be the characteristics of unit? Now, as far as the characteristics of units are concerned, first characteristic is that it should be well defined. I must have its proper definition. You have done the definition of SI unit of charge. You know the definition of SI unit of potential difference. You know the definition of SI unit of force. You know the definition of SI unit of length. So what happens? It should be well defined. There should be a proper definition of a unit so that there is no space for the ambiguity. Ambiguity means that you should not take some different meaning. And second is that its size should be suitable. It should be of the suitable size. What does it mean? It means that it should not be neither too big nor too small. Number third, it should be easily reproducible, accessible. What does it mean? If we lose a unit, we should be able to reproduce it again. Let us say some unit is lost in fire. Let us say I am having 10 kilogram. I am having a kilogram, and by chance my weight is lost. I should be able to get a new one, or I should be able to make a new. Okay, if I am having the material for that. Next is it should not change with time and place. It should not change with time and place. It should not be that if I am using 1 meter as the length here, the same length in America should be called as 3.1 meter. It should not happen. It should not change with time and place. Next is it should not change with physical conditions like temperature and pressure. If I am taking 1 kilogram of ghee here, whatsoever temperature is that, if it is 1 kilogram, it must remain 1 kilogram under all physical conditions. Next is Types of, next is system of units. Systems of units. What are the systems of units? Listen everyone, the systems of units are, first is CGS system. In CGS system, length is measured in centimeter, mass is measured in gram, and time is measured in second. What is the problem with this system is that its units are very small. If I ask go 1000 gram of lady finger, it is I think it appears very strange. So its units are very small. If I say distance between your home and school is, let us say 5 lakh centimeter, it appears odd. And second, and this unit was originated in France. FPS unit, FPS means foot for length, pound, its symbol is LB for mass, and second for time, where you use foot. We measure the foot for our heights. Even if I want to know the dimensions of a plot of a shop, they say that 12 by 18 is the size of the shop. Pound, when you order for the birthday cake, it is usually done in pound. And second, all of us know. Next unit is the MKS. In MKS unit, meter is SI unit of meter is the unit of length, kilogram for mass, and second for time. Its units are neither too big nor too small. FPS system, it originated from Britain, whereas again this MKS system, it originated from the France. Now what was the problem in these systems? The problem was that, for example, if I want to sell my cloth from England to France, in France what unit they use? They use either meter or centimeter, but I know the foot. So what we require? We require the units which are internationally accepted, such that all peoples, they use these units for their trade, for any exchange. They must be able to understand what we want to exchange, how much we want to exchange. So there should not be any ambiguity as far as the measurement of quantity is concerned. To remove that, all the scientists, they sat together and then they devised a new system that is called the SI system. Now SI units, they are international system of units, and its French equivalent is Système International D units. So SI stands for System International. Why we have taken this SI from the French? Why we have rejected? Why don't we write IS? Why we write SI unit? Why don't we write IS unit? It is just because we have chosen the units of meter for length, kilogram for mass, and second for time, and these units were originated from the France. So that's why we are taking SI as the System International. I think this is clear. Why we are preferring SI? Why we are not? Why don't we say IS? We say SI just to show our respect for the nation who has given us these unit. Now question is, what is the problem in this in the FPS system? The problem in the FPS system is that its subunits are not convenient. For example, if I say this is the 12 feet, and what is the subunit of foot? It is inch. So convert 12 feet into inches. I have to multiply with the 12. It will be very difficult. But if I say convert 12 meter into centimeter, I have to just put 2 zeros. So multiplication or division in the power of 10 is very easy. So that's why we have chosen MKS. We have not chosen this. Now in SI system there are 7 fundamental units. There are 7 fundamental units and 2 supplementary units. I will discuss fundamental. What the SI system says, that there are 7 fundamental quantities. They are mass, kilogram is measuring the mass. Kilogram is measured in is unit of mass. Length, it's meter. Time, second is unit. After time, temperature is also a fundamental unit. Its unit is Kelvin, Kelvin. After Kelvin, current. Which current? Electric current. Its unit is ampere. Its symbol is kilogram kg. Meter symbol is M. Second is S. Kelvin symbol is K. Ampere is capital A. And after electric current, we are having luminous intensity. What is luminous intensity? It is concerned with amount of light which is entering, which is falling on a unit area normally. It is measured in candela. Candela name is taken from candle. It's represented by CD. And next is amount of substance. It is in mole, measured in mole. Next is there are 2 supplementary units. These supplementary units are plane angle. It is measured in radian. And there is solid angle. Plane angle you have drawn very large number of angles in your junior classes: 60 degree, 80 degree, 100 degree, 180 degree, 360 degree. And solid angle have you seen? If you look at this softy cone, this is its solid angle. If you look at this cone, which is having more solid angle, you will say that this is having more. So that is the solid angle. When you switch on a torch in a dark room, you also get that. So that is also a solid angle. Solid angle is measured in steradian. S-T-E, steradian. R-A-D is the symbol. So it is measured in the steradian. Steradian. Its symbol is SR. All are small. So these are the units. What are the advantages of SI system? First advantage is that it is of SI system is that it is coherent system of unit. What is the meaning that it is coherent system of unit? It means that in this case all units in what I will say, not units, all derived units are obtained from the fundamental units by dividing or multiplication, right? By dividing or multiplication of fundamental units without involving a numerical factor. That is, all derived units are obtained from the fundamental units or supplementary units just by dividing or multiplying. There is no numerical factor. Number 2 is it is the rational system. Why it is a rational system? In this system there is only one unit for each and every physical quantity. No physical quantity has two units. In some systems, in some cases heat is measured in calorie, some says heat is measured in arc. Even in case of charge, in CGS system there are two units of charge. One is stat coulomb and another one is ebb coulomb. When charge is at rest, some unit is used, and when charge is in motion, some other unit is used. So CGS system is not a rational system. Number 3 is in SI system units are absolute units. What is the meaning of absolute unit? It means that gravity has no influence on these units, that these units they don't depend on acceleration due to gravity. And fourth one is this system is metric system. Metric system means multiples or submultiples of a units, they are expressed in the powers of 10. For example, I want to convert 1 meter into sub units, let us say small unit, centimeter, 10 to the power 2. But if I say 1 foot into inch, I will say 12 inch. This is not the 10. So it makes calculations very tough. Next is SI system is applicable to all branches of science. Whether we are using electricity, thermodynamics, it is applicable everywhere. And 6, not last but not least, this is the system. In this system, the units of physical quantity are practical units for the measurement. What I want to say that in current electricity, absolute units of SI system happens to be practical units of physical quantity. For example, in electricity, if I do my calculations in terms of SI system, let us say if I assume Coulomb is SI unit of the charge, ampere is SI unit of the current, and volt is SI unit of the voltage. If I do the calculation in SI system and if I am performing practical, I will get the accurate result. So when SI system is applied to electricity and magnetism, the units, they are also the practical units, right? So that's all for today.